Hello everyone, I'm Anusha. I work as an event organizer for 𝗪𝗏𝗡s. A warm good evening to all of you. Hope everyone is sound and safe. So to all of those who have attended our previous webinars, we thank you heartfully for giving your time. And for all those who are new to this webinar series, we assure you that this session is worth attending. So before we start our meet, I want you all to know a bit about our 𝗪𝗏𝗡s and its team. So 𝗪𝗏𝗡s is a small, friendly and talented team in which we share the best of our knowledge and industrial experience to all the upcoming civil engineers and working professionals. 𝗪𝗏𝗡s further spread its wings in consultancy and construction services. 𝗪𝗏𝗡s is continuously providing the webinar series, quiz competitions, and live interacting sessions for the students to improve their state of knowledge in every possible aspect of civil engineering. So let me take you through the brief intro of our team also. Mr. 𝗕𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗂𝗏 is the CEO and founder of 𝗪𝗏𝗡s. He is currently working as a structural engineer in a MNC company in Vizag, dealing with the US projects. Sir also worked as an executive engineer for a G+50 high-rise building in Vizag. He worked as an RCC design and detailing engineer for central, state government and several private projects also in Vizag. He also worked as a steel design and detailing engineer in Pune, and now he is generous and adamant to provide these series of webinar for free for students' good. To talk about his technical skills, he is a pro at AutoCAD, Revit, 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏, StatPro, SAFE, TNX Tower, and many more such softwares. And now comes our managing director of 𝗪𝗏𝗡s and also our beloved guest for today is Mr. Shreyansh Chaudhary. He is currently working as an executive engineer in MEIL in Chhattisgarh. Sir is an official alumnus of Andhra University of B.Tech, specialized in civil engineering. Sir also worked as an EE for a hospital building in Jagdalpur and as a junior engineer for an admin block of AIIMS Hospital. To talk about Sir's technical skills, Sir is a pro at strategic planning, project estimation, project control, contract negotiation, team management, and construction management. Now comes our Associate Director of 𝗪𝗏𝗡s is Mr. A. Sandeep. Sir is an architect dealing with architectural plans, interior designs, and elevations for residential and commercial buildings and also for high-rise buildings. To talk about his technical skills, Sir is a pro at AutoCAD, SketchUp, 3ds Max, Revit, 𝗲𝗍, and Lumion, and many more such softwares. So as I said, our guest today is also our managing director of 𝗪𝗏𝗡s. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a live Q&A at the end of the session. So I request everyone, all of you, to drop in your queries in the chat box only at the end and not to interrupt Sir in the middle of the lecture. Now, our beloved guest, Shreyansh Sir, will proceed with the meeting. Keep your ears opened on our topic today, procedure and activities involved in the construction of pile foundation in a live project. Shreyansh Sir, you can go on, please.
Thank you so much for this. Hello guys, I am Shreyansh. As you already got introduced about myself, so let me introduce again for briefly. So I am Shreyansh Chaudhary from Chhattisgarh. So today I am going to explain you about the civil construction activities happening in sites. Are you guys audible with me or not? So why? Because I am staying in a remote area, so signals may be somewhat vary here and there.
Sir, as of now, you're super clear, sir. You can go on.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, Anusha, can you please make me host so I could share my screen?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, thank you. So guys, before starting this session, let me tell about civil engineering. What is a civil engineering? It's having a different streams to go for the after completion of civil engineering. You have many ways to get on the jobs. Is it right? So in that, one is structural engineering, architectural, interior designer, and then the last it will coming as site. So today we are going to discuss about site related works. So how we are going to execute the work in site, which the drawings has been given our from the structural or interior architectural team. So how we are going to execute the drawing or plan given by them in the site, right? So basically, when we are all studying the civil engineering, it's totally different when we coming into the site. So IS standard will be saying some points we have to do in this standard, we have to do in this standard. When to do in site, when practically some points you can't do it. Means you can't go through IS code when you're going practically. So some can be you can have to negotiate with this thing. So step-wise procedure I will explain you. I will be going. Actually, this session is about piling foundations. So before starting the piling work, I will explain you what is the procedure before start the work. So let's see. It will be divided into parts. One is pre-construction steps. Another is during building construction step or during site process. Okay. In that first point, pre-construction steps. So here you can see the screen. In this, I already told that there are two steps. One is pre-construction and another is during building. So in first procedure, first of all, we have to acquire the land. See, basically before starting the work, you have to see the land, right? What is the procedures? What is the topography of the land? Whether the land is near the hospitals, police station, to mobilization, to your daily needs. After that, you will be going to design procedure, preparing of your estimations, your building permits. And after that, after getting all this, you will go approaching the contractor. So first going to the acquiring the land. Actually, it is the main step before starting the project. So here you will be seeing all the topographies, whether the land is properly for construction or not, whether the site is in good location, it is not in remote area. So what are the water ground level table, and it where is I already told you whether it is near to the police station or medication, that is your near to hospitals, fire station, and your daily requirement needs. So as per the norms, it is properly set to you or not. After that, confirming your land, you will be going for design process. So after getting land, first of all, you will be thinking, no, so what I have to construct in this. So accordingly that you will be taking preferring that land. So after that, you will be designing, you will be in the process of designing. So you will be approached to a structural engineer or a architecture to get a design from them. So what are your requirements? For example, now you are going to construct a hospital. So for that, you need some emergency services ward separately, normal OPT separately, and some general ward, everything. So for that, you need to approach a design. So you will be in total procedure of design. After the preparation of estimation budget, right? So you have decided to prepare a built a hospital. So for this, you have to estimate it. This I'm preparing a super specialty hospital or multi super specialty hospital or else ordinary hospital or some specialized or something depending upon the variations. So for that, whether I need to construct it in a 3-story building or a G+4 or G+5. So for that, what is the estimation is going on? What is the budget I have to put? What is my budget? According to the financial thing, you have to design and you have to think and you have to estimate it. Right. After that, preparation of estimation and everything, you will be going for building permits. So why? Because before starting the construction, you have to get permission from the local authorities, like the municipal corporation, pollution control, airport authority, and police station, that whether the land is in proper way or to construct or not, whether the land is for construction purpose or for agricultural purpose, so and so, so and so, so and so. For that, you need some documentation. Before that, obviously, you will be doing that land survey, soil test reports, In the soil test reports, you can get that details of the land, whether it is going good for construction or not, whether it is sandy soil, which is not good for construction. After that, all the drawings, as previously already met your designer team, so you will be showing all the designs as per government rules and regulation norms is there or not, according to municipal is there or not. See, right. After that, showing all the documents to them and getting approving and getting all the permits. Next thing you will going to approach a contractor. If you are building your house, a small, for example, your personal house, you will be getting to a local builder or contractor and you are negotiating with this. Apart from that, for example, you are taking means you are from your employee from company. Now you have by single you can't build a building. You need a manpower. That means you have to get from labor contractor. That means to supply a labor to supply manpower. Or else your company is giving, you want to give that work to a subcontractor. So you will be approaching a contractor to choose that work, to clear all the documentation work related things, to provide his own manpower. He will be seeing all the things if you are giving to a subcontractor, right? Meanwhile, in this session, is anybody from North India? I'm asking anybody is from North India, means I can explain them in both the language in Telugu and Hindi. So I will be I will be explaining in both the languages in Telugu and Hindi. So those who are not understanding, means those who are not perfectly understanding that what I'm saying, you can ask me. I will be covering this session in both the three of languages, English, Hindi and Telugu. Okay, na? Right. So after approaching the contractor, जैसे कि मान लीजिए कंपनी पूछ रहा है कि भाई मैं पूरा सब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में दे दूंगा, దీని వర్క్ అంతా సబ్ కాంట్రాక్ట్ ఇచ్చేస్తాను, సో ఇంకా వాళ్ళు చూసుకుంటారు, మనకు అంతా హెడేక్ ఉండదు. We will be observing and everything as a client. So for that you will be approaching to the contractor, right? After that doing everything, the paperwork, everything has been done. Now before starting the construction, you have to clear with all the documentation. That means you have to get clearance from the client. Now you got a tender about some building. For example, so for X building, you got a contractor. That may be from a public sector or private sector. It may be government का भी हो सकता है या वो private का भी हो सकता है. Or maybe government देना अवच्चू, maybe private देना अवच्चू. Like NMDC, that where now I am working, or else SAIL, PWD, CPWD, or a startup which comes under private, Voltas, L&T, so and so, whatever. So before starting, you have to clear all the documentation work, like labor license. Of course, you will be getting some manpower to do the work. You need to get a labor license. Without labor license, you can't go for it. And your company's profile. If you're giving that work to subcontractor, you have to submit all the credentials belongs to your subcontractor, whether the subcontractor is eligible to do that work or not. If the building is very high-rise building, you're going for some deep foundation, whether the contractor is having the deep foundation experience or not, or else you're getting some other agency for deep foundation, because all the works can't do by a single contractor. Everything will be divided into some divided parts, right? You are, while coming graduation, you can become only one engineer, no? Or else some like structural, or else architectural, or else interior, or else site engineer. You can't be a one in all, all in one you can't become. भाई आप लोग सब एक ही तो नहीं बन सकते कि मैं सब काम कर लूंगा. Everywhere will be choosing the different streams, right? So after the completion everything, you will be going into the during the building procedure. So before starting construction, you have been cleared all the documentation and you got all the clearance from the client. Now you're ready to start the construction. So before construction, you need a site clearance. Up to now, you got clearance from client. Yeah, okay, you can go and start the work. So for now constructing, you need a site clearance. What is a site clearance? See, the land you have chosen maybe filled with debris or bushes or some hilly areas, uneven surfaces like this. You can see now. Whether my screen, everybody can visible the screen now. So you can easily see, you can easily approach to them. Sometimes 80 to 90% clearance will be in the scope of client. So that client only will clear the site and they will hand over to you to construct the building, to start the construction. In sometimes 10 to 20%, the site clearance will be, the site clearance also in your scope according to the tender. समझो ना, कई बार 80 to 90% क्या होता है कि साइट क्लियर करके देना वो क्लाइंट के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है, यानी कि जो आपको काम दिया है वही आपको क्लियर करके देगा, भाई ये देखो जगह है आप कंस्ट्रक्ट कर सकते हो. Is it or not? So 80 to 90% మీకు క్లయింటే మీకు ఇచ్చేస్తుంది, క్లియర్ చేసి మొత్తం అంతాను ఆ చెట్లు ఏమన్నా అంతా క్లీన్ చేసేసి ఆ డస్ట్ మొత్తం తీసేసి మీకు క్లీన్ సైట్ మీకు ఇచ్చేస్తుంది, ఇంకా మీరు కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేసుకోండమ్మా అని. ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ కంప్లీషన్ ఆఫ్ సైట్ క్లియరెన్స్, సర్వేయింగ్. This is the basic and major part of the building, the work of the building. So now, for example, we have taken hospital. Now we are doing, for example, you are preparing a small 1 to 2 story building hospital, and 1 to 2 floors hospital constructing. For this, you no need to prepare a big layout. Normally, you will be surveying all the layout and you will be preparing all the layouts around the boundary and preparing all the coordinates. Right. So here, you will be doing all the surveying works, the basic requirements, for example, like this layout, marking the areas, fixing the coordinates, getting the temporary benchmarks with the total session, obviously, before starting the work. After that, you will be doing excavation. See, here, excavation is depending upon the building and depending upon the structure you are constructing. Because for normal G+1, G+2, G+3 buildings, you no need to excavate all the whole layout area. See in this image, you can see the layout has been that excavator is excavating all the area which has been given the layout. वो layout में जितना दिया वो पूरा area पे excavate करता है वो. Because there it's coming a huge building. In that area, some G+8 floors building has G+8 floor building is coming. They are ready to construct. That's why they are excavating all throughout the layout. Normally for G+1, G+2, no need to excavate all those areas. Simply you will be doing column marking and you are taking some working space, adding some working space to that column marking, and you're starting digging up to 1.5 meter, 2 meter, up to the requirement depth, and you're starting a construction of it. So no need to excavate all the area when depending upon the building you have chosen. So after completion of the excavation, you will be doing the leveling. So see, leveling here means it will be coming in 2 types. What means, first of all, for example, for that construction of hospital, the designer has been told that you have to excavate up to 3 meter. From the 3 meter, you have to prepare a foundation and you have to build a hospital. Up to 2.5 meter, you have excavated freely. From 2.5 meter, see in first image, here you can see, sorry, wait a minute. Here you can see, he's surveying there. See here that one person is standing with the staff, checking from the ground level whether it came to 3 meter or not. Obviously, you will be having a ground level. From that ground level, whether it is in 3 meters or not, he is checking. So at the time, you have to be in conscious. आपको एकदम अच्छे तरीके से देखना पड़ेगा. You have to मतलब मेरे को चल जागृत का last layer में clean चाहिए लग रहा. You have to excavate properly at the ending of the layer. That is up to 3 layers. See here, he is checking whether that area is, whether that 3 meter has been reached or not. After that completion, you will be doing leveling. So now, okay, 3 meter that you have excavated the area up to 3 meters. Okay, right. So after that, of course, you have done that excavating with an excavator or as JCB, somewhat with machinery. You can't do proper leveling. No, of course, you will be getting some undulations, some up and downs. It will be not uneven surfaces. So for that, you have to do proper leveling with a roller. See here in this picture, the person is rolling this area to prepare a proper leveling. After that, you can see this area has been properly leveled. Because after the completion of leveling, the next procedure is PCC. Right. So for doing PCC, you need a area with cleaned. What is a PCC? It is a plain concrete cement which is used without any reinforcement. You will be doing huge concrete with less strength because you're using some mixed proportion of about around 1:4:8, right? Normally in high grade compositions you will be using 10 mm and 20 mm in mixed proportion. In PCC you will be using 40 mm of aggregate. Why we are doing PCC? The PCC is used to not directly contact the reinforcement which you are providing on the ground. Which you are providing, it will be not make you to direct contact of reinforcement to the earth and soil, which will be not mixing properly with the right. So directly on the earth, after that excavation leveling, you directly kept the reinforcement and you started concreting. That means the reinforcement and the concrete is directly contact with the earth and soil. That means it is mixing with all the proportions like water, groundwater table, and that soil. Everything is the concrete is mixed with the soil and water. That means the concrete has become weak. That means there is no strength for the foundation, right? So, as I already written, it is a mixture of aggregate and coarse aggregate without steel, and it is an important component of a building which laid on the soil to avoid direct contact from the reinforcement. So not to get a direct contact, we are doing PCC. So as previously told, we have to do proper leveling. If we are not doing proper leveling, PCC quantity will automatically increase. जब भाई leveling ठीक से नहीं करोगे तो uneven surface में तो concrete ज़्यादा ले लेगा वो, यानी कि you are wasting your money. That means the money is easily wasting. అంతే కదా. ఆ సర్ఫేస్ కనుక సరిగ్గా uneven గా ఉంటే uneven surface ఉన్న ఏరియా అంతా కాంక్రీట్ అబ్జర్వ్ చేసుకుంటుంది. దానివల్ల మీకు ఎక్కువ కాంక్రీట్ యూజ్ అవుతుంది. For example, instead of using 50 m³ of concrete, you will be using a 55 m³. So per m³ you will be having costing around 6,000 to 7,000, right? That means around you are losing around some 30,000 to 35,000 rupees. It's not a small amount. Operation of PCC. See, this is the process of doing PCC. Right. So see, this is the procedure of using PCC. Let me show you. So this is the machine. This is called a transistor machine or concrete mixer machine, which is pouring here. And you can see here they are putting some wooden blocks to done properly. The concrete to not spill over all the concrete. So they are putting some wooden block as a shuttering part. See. So after that pouring, they are doing leveling and everything. So in this here also, you will be using the instrument auto level, whether the PCC is going in proper way or not. See, the PCC will be done at 50 mm, 75 mm, or 100 mm thickness or 125, depending upon the site, depending upon the client requirement or in the designer. You will be laying the PCC in the proper way, in the proper thickness. So whether, for example, take it as 75 mm thickness, 150 mm thickness, we are taking this PCC, we are doing this PCC. So whether the PCC is going around 150 mm thickness, or it is decreasing, or it is increasing the level. So for that level, again, we will check accordingly. While doing, for example, here he had done the PCC and he has leveled everything. Now that he will come and he will check by putting stuff, he will check everything, whether that the PCC is in level or not, perfect level or not from the ground level. Right. Okay. After that, we will go into the next side. After completion of PCC, next thing is column marking. So if it is the U structure, as we have discussed, we are doing for a U structure. Now we are going to prepare for foundation. So we will be doing for column marking in this PCC area. You can see in this area after completion of PCC, we will start doing column marking. Where we have to do a column, where we will be marking column. After that, we will be starting for column marking. So when we come to the foundations, again it will be divided into two parts. So before it going to their parts, so what is the foundation? They will be talking about foundations now. Basically, we need a basic foundations. This is the basic foundation of this. This is the foundation. So when coming to the civil inside, what is a foundation? It is a huge structure, not a huge depending upon the structures. It is a main part of the building from which all the building loads has been transferred to the earthen surface or to the soil. So that's why it should be very strong and it should be done with the proper specifications. So again, when we going into that part, it is totally divided into two parts. One is shallow foundations and another is deep foundations. So now let us consider it as a shallow foundations. What is a shallow foundations? Shallow foundations is the foundation, obviously, which is used to transfer all the building loads to the soil or to the bearing capacity of the surfaces. If the range of the depth is increased, we will going into deep foundations. We will be discussing later. So here, I think shallow foundations are divided into some four parts. One is individual footing or isolated footing. Another is combined footing. Third one is strip footing. And at last, fourth one is raft or mat footing. Previously in PMage, they are preparing the PCC, no? The PCC is for raft footing. Okay, let's go for individual footing. You can see it is individual footing, right? So what is the individual footings? Individual footings is a footing which is used for small structures of building. At starting, I told while the time of surveying, while the time of excavating, if you are constructing a small building, no need to excavate overall the layout. Overall, no need to excavate throughout the layout area. So simply you will be marking where your column is coming. So at that point only you will be excavating, and there only you starting construction of foundation. So at that time, this individual footing will be used. Right. After that, this is called individual. You can see in the image. See, this is a individual footing. This footing is preparing for boundary wall. This one. So here from there is construct a boundary wall. Actually, normally for individual footing, it will be coming same for all the buildings. This is the same procedure for all the things. So after that, coming into the point of combined footing. What is a combined footing? It is also same, like it will be looking like individual footing, but when you are getting columns from more than two or more columns, then it will be called as combined footing. See, I have written, it is constructed when it comes two or more columns, is called combined footing. That means isolated footing, the individual footing will be constructed constructed combinedly. वो दोनों को मिला के बनाया जाता है. See here, I show you one thing. See, in this footing, you're having two columns, two group of columns, right? After that, you can see here, in this footing, you're having four group of piles. That means two or more columns coming in a same footing is called a combined footing. After the completion of combined footing, you will be going for strip foundation. This foundation will be constructed very rarely, especially where we are getting a huge walls like retaining walls or that bridge piers. For those things only we are constructing this strip footing. That means from that below the ground level we will be doing that. We will be constructing the 3 or more meters wall. Let me show you the picture. See. See, let me show you the picture. So this is our ground level, right? So this is our shear data. From here, they will be doing mass concrete. This huge structure wall. For retaining walls, they will be constructing this much areas. If the shear is means that the weight is more, that we will getting shear cracks. This is another type of strip footing. You can see brief reflection. See, from the bottom onwards, we have constructed this one. This area, this is and all this belongs to strip footing only. So depending upon the required, section, depending upon the required one, we will be choosing the footings what footing we need. At last, fourth one, raft foundation or else mat foundation. It is a huge structure, huge foundations which will be used in for big higher buildings. For example, now as I have taken example for a hospital or a construction of a hospital. Now we are using this raft foundations because raft foundation is the most biggest foundations which you can equally or uniformly distribute all the loads of the huge structure to the ground surface or to the soil or to the earthen part with a high bearing capacity. You can see at the starting I have showed you that they are excavating this area now. So this is the area they excavated. After doing PCC, they're laying all the reinforcement. And after the completion, see this main bars and this distribution bars. After providing all the reinforcement, they're fixing the column. So after the fixing, they will be providing a pedestal footing and the huge structure of footing they will be doing. So see, here already we had done this. Basically, this session is about piling only. So I will be explaining. No, I will not go into brief explanation. बस मैं ऊपर समझा के चले जाऊंगा फाउंडेशंस के बारे में. उसके बाद how to do concrete rung of footing. Here they had provided all those things. After the completion of providing all the reinforcement, after doing every shuttering and everything, survey after checking the surveying, after completion totally, the concreting work has been done. He is providing vibrator. He is leveling these things. He is checking whether the part is going properly or not. After the mass concrete, see the foam work of this one. Foam work of column and concreting. The shuttering part. Till now we did concrete for raft. After that we will doing shuttering for these columns and we will be doing concrete for this with this. After completion of concreting of all those foundation footings, columns, again we will do the backfilling. The same soil, when we excavated that area, the soil will be kept aside for again for further uses. So that the same soil we are doing with the backfilling. After completion of backfilling, we will be leveling that area because once we taken the soil, excavated soil, again we are filling that soil, that loose soil. We have to fill it properly and we have to compact it in a 3 layers. So without compacting that loose soil, you will be getting undulations and the building may get chances of cracks, right? That's why we are doing that proper compaction within the 3 layers. According to IS code, we have to do this. It will be taking so much of time for that filling. That's why in practical conditions, we will be doing in 3 to 4 layers. For every some 15, for every 15 centimeters or 50 centimeters, we will be layering 1 layer and we will be compacting with water and that rollers. After that, in this method, we will be completing all those compaction and everything. So after this, we will be going into the deep foundations. As previously explained you, foundations are of 2 types. One is shallow foundation, another deep foundations. What is a deep foundation? When we use the deep foundations, when we selected a site, we will be giving to the soil investigation, right? जब हम साइट सेलेक्ट करते हैं, साइट सेलेक्ट करने के बाद हम लोग एक सॉइल इन्वेस्टिगेशन कराते हैं हम लोग. మనం సైట్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత సాయిల్ ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ చేస్తాం. ఆ సాయిల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఎలా ఉన్నాయి ఏంటి అనేది. At that time, if the obesity value, that means phi value is less than 60%, then we will be going into normal shallow foundations. If if that obesity value is more than 60%, that means phi value is more than 60%, then we have to go for deep foundations. Again, deep foundation will be divided into some types of pile foundations, hollow foundations, well foundations, sheet foundations, which are used in the seashores, etc., etc., etc. So now we are discussing about pile foundations, which is one of the most important and major foundations. Is foundation. So what is a pile foundation? It is an N series of foundations which are inserted into the soil to transfer all the huge loads from the building into the soil, directly into the ground level of the soil. Obviously, the piles are in a cylindrical shape. They will be not in rectangular or square or triangle. The piles are in the circular shapes, circular cylindrical shapes, made up of a strong material, obviously that is concrete. So how to do this foundation? Actually, pile foundation is one of the foundation which is very easy. By seeing it, the process is very huge by using a high machineries, very huge machineries, but the pile foundation is very easy. This is one of the costliest foundation, but it's very easy. For doing it's very easy. Well, comparing to the Raft Foundation, it comes very easier. So again, while coming into the pile foundations, it will divide into 2 parts. One is end-bearing piles, another is frictional piles. The procedure for both the 2 piles is same. Let me explain you clearly. What is end-bearing? In the name itself, it has written end-bearing. Yani ki, that means the tip of the pile, yani ki the end part of the pile will be stopped when the hard strata or rock will be coming at the bottom at the end of the pile. Example, I will explain in another language. Piling कैसे करते हैं? एक बोरिंग मशीन को लेके आते हैं और उसको ड्रिल करते रहते हैं. ड्रिल करने के बाद जब नीचे पत्थर आ गया रोक देंगे. నేను చేస్తా ఉంటాం, మషిన్ తీసుకొస్తాం, దాని ల్యాండ్ పెట్టి దాన్ని డ్రిల్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. డ్రిల్ చేసిన ఒక సర్టెన్ పార్ట్కి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత కింద ఒక హార్డ్ స్ట్రట్ కానీ రాక్ సర్ఫేస్ వచ్చేస్తే దాన్ని చాప్ చేస్తాం. దట్ మీన్స్ ఇన్ అవర్ హౌసెస్ వీ యూస్ టు డ్రిల్ అ బోర్ ఫర్ వాటర్, రైట్? సో అట్ ద సేమ్ టైమ్ with a high diameter, with more than 400 diameter, the machine will be coming and drilling the hole at the bottom, at where that hard strata is coming. There they will stop the drilling. That is called end bearing structure. That means at the part where the rock or hard strata is existing at the tip of the pile, there we will stop doing pile boring. That is called end bearing piles. Another one is frictional pile. Frictional pile. In the name itself is given friction. That means the pile is totally depend upon the friction. Let me take an example of crew bar. Crew bar means in Hindi they will tell sabbal, and in Telugu it's called some gunapam, I think so, right? So in home or in some other
Sir,
places, when
speak
you
a
are
little bit
going,
louder, sir. Your voice is not audible.
wait a minute. Are you getting my voice properly now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now clear.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So again, I will explain what is a frictional pile. Right. So, for example, we'll take a crew bar. In Telugu, that is gunapam. That steel that long steel one structure will be there. No, gunapam. Gunapam is right. In Telugu, we will say gunapam, and in Hindi it's called sabbal. So when we are planting a plant, when we are processing a plantation, we'll dig a soil from up to 200 mm. The sabbal will be coming. The crew bar will be coming up very easily. After going into depth, it is somewhat it will become somewhat hard to pull it up. Is it or not? Because it's becoming difficult. Why means there is a friction between the soil and that crew bar. That's why it is somewhat difficult to pull out when it is going to certain depth. At the same time, I will show this slide. See here. See, I had explained this is all the weak or that sandy soil or some loose soil, etc. So see, this is the tip of the soil. This is the tip of the pile, and this and all hard strata or some rocky area something. So at the end tip of this pile, we got hard strata. That's why we stopped. So this is called end bearing structure. Sorry, end bearing pile, and this considered as a frictional pile because here the soil and pile there is a friction between this soil and this pile, which is not at all trying to pull out of. Right. It is totally clearly depending upon the frictions only. For example, deep foundations means you will be going up to certain depth like 30 meters, 45 meters. If you are constructing a bridge or a flyover across the river or throughout the river, you have to go for largest means deep foundations like well foundations or pile foundations. According to the budget you will be choosing. So when you're going to the well foundations, hollow foundations, that will be going in the higher budgets. So your estimation cost is around some 1,000 crores project. For that 1,000 crores project, you can't go for hollow foundations or well foundations. So you have to do with the piling only, because that is somewhat cheaper while comparing to those two foundations. So in that piling also, you can't go for you can't go up to when the rock is coming. You can't drill the soil. No, you went to 30 meters. Rock hard strata didn't came. You went to 40 meters. Hard strata didn't came. So before starting the pile work, in this also you will be doing one soil investigation. The team will be coming. Again, they will be drilling a bore, but they will be doing small drill bit. That is 150 mm dia they will be taking, and with that they will be drilling the hole. एक छोटा सा मशीन आता है, उससे लोग ड्रिल करते रहते हैं. उसका 150 mm का डाया सा होल से लोग ड्रिल करते रहते हैं. और हर एक 2-2 मीटर में उन लोग एक सॉइल का सैंपल कलेक्ट करते रहते हैं. ऑप्शन मशीन వస్తుంది మనకి బోర్ అలా వస్తుందో అలా ఒక బోరింగ్ మెషిన్ వస్తుంది ఒక ట్రైపాడ్ స్టాండ్ తోని ఒక 150 mm డయా డ్రిల్ బిట్ వాళ్ళ లోపల సెండ్ చేసి ప్రతి 2 meters వాళ్ళ సాయిల్ శాంపిల్స్ కలెక్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. సో బై టేకింగ్ దట్ for every 2 meters they will be collecting the soil samples. For that soil samples they will be knowing that what is the strata inside that ground. So what is the strata? So whether it is useful for or not, whether it is coming as a loose strata or it is coming a hard strata. Up to going certain depth, they will be considering, and with the calculations, all the necessary calculations, they will be fixing one thing, and they will decide what to do, this thing or this thing. Whether we have to go for end bearing section or we have to go for frictional pile. Yeah, okay. In 25 meter, I got a rock hard strata, so we can go it for end bearing structure. sorry, end-bearing piling. No, we had grown through up to 35 meter, but still we didn't got any hard strata. So better this we had to consider as frictional pile. आपको करना ही करना है. So whether you have to go in for piling or hollow foundations or well foundations. So depending upon the soil strata, you have to fix it. So you got the difference between end-bearing piles and frictional piles, right? After that, what is the work procedure of piling? Same thing as explained to you previously. You got a site clearance, surveyor will come and they will mark the point. See here, surveyor is surveying with his total station and he marked some pile locations. After that pile locations, after the marking all the pile locations, the rig machine will come. Let me show you the photos of rig machine. See, you can see this one. So this is called the hydraulic rig machine. It will be in chain mounted or truck or tractor mounted. Depending upon the work, they will be taking availability of machines. See, this is the rig machine. It will be moving with the center of gravity. The machine will be totally moving in center of gravity. Inside of that, they will be having two water bubbles. One is in digitalized screen, another is one in at the bottom. They will be having one water bubble. So with the center of gravity, that machine will be moving because it's having, see how much drill bit is having. So with this one, they have to move with center of gravity only. So you got it clear now with what equipment they will be drilling it. So here I marked a point. Here I marked. So I got the rig machine. Now he's ready to drill it. So before drilling, I have to check the point whether the point is middle or not. Because in total station, while doing the survey, he's catching a peg with that is having slim point. क्योंकि वो जो पकड़ करता है वो सर्वे करता है जो मर्क्यूरी को पकड़ के सॉरी प्रिज्म को पकड़ करता है वो प्रिज्म को स्टैंड रहता है वो पतला रहता है वो అంటే और సర్వే చేసినప్పుడు ప్రిజం స్టాండ్ చాలా సన్నగా ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి చాలా ఈజీగా పాయింట్ చేస్తాడు. The prism stand when he is doing the surveying, the prism is having the thinner stand that he can easily point that area. But while coming rig, that having the dia of 500 mm dia or 600 mm dia, the point is having. So for that we need a proper point. Whether the point is means 1 to up to 1 to 10 mm, it is the differentials varies is okay. But we can't go for more than 10 to 15 mm dia, no. But the point will get variation. That point location will be get changed. So here they will be using a formula, that diagonal formula, that is root of a square plus b square. See, for example, think this is the point and this is the pile dia. So what I am doing means through 90 degrees at 1.5 degrees I will pointing here. Sorry, at 1.5 meter I am pointing 1 point here and I am pointing 1 point here. So this is my right angle. Right, due to this laptop, don't think take it, consider it as a 500 mm dia. Okay, na? A 500 mm dia. So this is 1.5 meter and it is having 1.5 meter. Just a second. Just a minute. So we have considered this as a pile. Yeah, so this is 1 point, this is 1 point. root of a square plus b square. That is means 1.5 whole square plus 1.5 whole square. So we will be getting around some 2.1 to something. So we will calculate whether from here to here that value is coming or not. So it is perfect means that point is perfect. See, these guys are checking that only. That's why you see you can raise another point. He had see from triangle onwards, he is taking from here to here. Actually, they're having one other point. See, you can see it clearly or not. He already taken another point from here. So he's checking from the diagonal formula whether the point is perfect or not. After this completion of checking cross sections, the pile rig will come and they will start drilling. This area. After drilling up to 6 meters or 5 meters, they will put a casing. So now what is a casing? Casing is a cylindrical type of equipment here, which is used to keep inside the soil to not collapse. See what happens in the ground level up to some depth, some layer of soil up to 3 meters or 2 meters. The soil is soft soil, means that is the soil will be keep on collapsing. When he's drilling the area, when he's drilling the part up to some depth, the soil will keep on collapsing. By जब तक वो drill करते रहता है, तो soil collapse होता रहेगा वो. Is it not? కొంచెం డెప్త్ వరకు ఏంటంటే మనకి సాయిల్ చాలా లూజ్ గా ఉంటుంది. ఆ లూజ్ గా ఉండడం వల్ల ఏంటంటే వాడు ఎంత తవ్వుని ఎంత డ్రిల్ చేస్తా ఉన్నా ఆ సాయిల్ కొలాప్స్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద నేచర్ ఆఫ్ ద సాయిల్ ఈస్ వెరీ లూజ్. సో ఇస్ కీప్ ఆన్ డ్రిల్లింగ్, ద సాయిల్ ఇస్ కీప్ ఆన్ falling, means there is no use of drilling. So what they will do means after going to certain depth, the casing, let me show you some pictures of the casing. See. Let me show you some pictures. See, you can see this huge cylindrical structure, no? This is called casing. This will be having different sizes, 6 meters, 5 meters, 7 meters, 9 meters. Depend upon the requirements, they will bring the material to us with to the site team. So after providing the casing, up to drilling the soil up to 6 meters, they will provide a casing. They will insert a casing inside the level, inside the ground level.
Sir,
after that,
some background, something news is going on.
News, sir. A minute.
Now clear, sir. Now clear, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, no problem. So audio guys are understand but what I am saying to you. Basically, what happens is filing when you will get proper expense when you are going to see with your naked eyes. Basically, so I'm trying my best to explain you to understand this thing, because without seeing you can't get it properly. So that's why I'm showing you with pictures. I didn't have kept any matter in this. So I will show you something. This is a spirit level. After the inserting the casing, actually I kept this horizontal. This image should be in vertical position. See, this position should be in vertical position. You can see it. So after the inserting the casing, you have to check by spirit level whether the casing is in proper direction or not, straight direction or not, whether it is somewhat inclined or whether it is diverted or not. You have to check it. up to inserting this up to certain depth 1 meter. For inserting 1 meter, we will check it. Again, after inserting to 2 meters, we will check it. So at certain depth, we will be checking whether the casing is going straightly or not, because the piling is totally depend that the piling depth is totally depending upon the casing only. If the casing is inclined, the total pile that boring is also going into cross. That the pile boring will be going into inclined only. If the pile bore has been done inclinedly, then there is no strength of the pile. If the huge structure will come, the pile should be transferred, that foundation, that series of pile should be transferred the load equally, no? If that the pile is inclinedly, the pile they cast it, means the concreting that pile is inclinedly, it can't transfer the loads properly. That means मैं पाइल मार दिया, केसिंग टेढ़ा था, इसके वजह से मैं जो बोरिंग क्या हूँ वो बोरिंग भी टेढ़ा हो गया, और मैं टेढ़ा करने के बाद पूरा पाइलिंग ऐसी कंप्लीट कर दिया, आपका मैं कंक्रीट भी कर दिया, खत्म कहानी. अब जब बिल्डिंग का लोड आएगा टेढ़ा रहने की वजह से उसके वजह से क्या प्रॉपर लोड बैलेंस मतलब डिस्ट्रीब्यूट नहीं होता, इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूट नहीं होता है, और उसके वजह से क्या होता है पाइल ब्रेक होने का चांसेस रहता है. दैट मीन्स द पाइल विल बी टर्मिनेटेड. బోరింగ్ చేసిన తర్వాత కేసింగ్ కనుక క్రాస్ గా ఉందనుకున్నది కొంచెం వంకరగా ఉంటే రిమైనింగ్ కింద నుంచి ఇంకా మొత్తం రిమైనింగ్ 6 మీటర్ నుంచి నేనైతే 20 మీటర్ వరకు వెళ్తున్నానో ఆ రిమైనింగ్ డెప్త్ కూడా చాలా వంకరగా వెళ్తుంది అనమాట. దానివల్ల రేపు పొద్దున్న నేను కాంక్రీటింగ్ అంతా చేసిన తర్వాత లోడ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అయినప్పుడు అది యూనిఫామ్ గా లోడ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయదు. యూనిఫామ్ గా లోడ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయకపోవడం వల్ల ఏం జరుగుతుంది అంటే వెయిట్ ఎక్కువ పడిపోవడం వల్ల అది బ్రేక్ అయిపోద్ది అనమాట. అంటే పైల్ టర్మినేట్ అయిపోద్ది, అది ఇంకా డ్యామేజ్ అయిపోద్ది పైల్ అక్కడ. So there is a no use. So while inserting the casing, we have to check thoroughly whether the casing is going straightly into the ground level or not. So after that fixing, you can see it. The casing has been fixed. See here, he's inserted the casing into the ground level. After that, he started drilling. See here, there is a two types of auger. See, I will tell the names of this instrument. This auger. This is called a drill bit. This entire thing is called a drill bit, and this is called a auger. There are two types of auger again. This is rock auger and this is soft auger. That means it will be used as starting strata, because on the top you will be getting soft soil. For that cutting of soil, it will be using this with this auger. When the hard strata or rock will come, they will be using with the rock auger. See here, you can see some bullets. Right? See, you can see some bullets. But I will clear it. See, you can see the bullets on that auger. See, it will be using to cut the hard strata or to cut the rock. For that they use these bullets on the edges of this auger, this sides. And this one is bucket auger. See, this is called a bucket auger. So when it will be used means after going into certain depth, water will come. Obviously groundwater table will come, because up to 3 meter you will going okay. After going into 5 meters, 6 meter, 10 meter, obviously groundwater table will come. So after the groundwater table will come, some soil will be collapsing and it will become like a sludge. The total part inside that ground surface, it will become like a sludge. To clear the sludge, we will be using this bucket auger. At the end, the bucket, there is a mouth of the at end. It will be closed while it's driven inside that hole. After going inside, here due to this mud, the hole is not visible. Here two holes will be there at that part, and again at the opposite part, one hole will be there. This much area hole will be there. So from that hole, the water will be going inside this bucket. After pulling up, automatically this lid is opening. As early, as it came on the top, that lid will open automatically, and the sludge which is presented inside, it will coming outside. I will explain in another language. ये जो बकेट है ना, इसके नीचे एक लीड रहता है ओपनिंग जैसा, वो ऑटोमेटिक जब अंदर घुसता है तो क्लोज रहता है वो. क्लोज होते साथ इसके बगल में दो दो छेदे रहते हैं, मतलब छेदा नहीं, थोड़ा एक स्पेसिंग रहता है पानी और वो कीचड़ अंदर जाने का। और बाहर आने के बाद ऑटोमेटिक इसका नीचे का जो लिड है ना, ये ऑटोमेटिक ओपन हो जाता है। ये ओपन होने का उसके अंदर का जो पूरा कीचड़ भरा है तो पूरा बाहर निकल जाता है। इन तेलुगु ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే దీని కింద ఒక లిడ్ ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట. ఈ లిడ్ లోపలికి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు ఆటోమేటిక్ క్లోజ్ అయిపోతుంది. అంటే ఇక్కడ కొంచెం స్పేసింగ్ అని ఉంటుంది ఈ పక్కన ఆ పక్కన. ఆ స్పేసింగ్ నుంచి ఆ బురద ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో మొత్తం లోపలికి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. ఎప్పుడైతే దాన్ని బయట తీసుకొస్తారో, బయట తీసుకొచ్చిన తర్వాత ఆటోమేటిక్ దాంట్లో ఉన్న బురద మొత్తం అంతా బయటకు వచ్చేస్తుంది అనమాట. అఫ్ కోర్స్ వి కాంట్ క్లియర్ ఇట్ ప్రాపర్లీ, బట్ సమ్వాట్ వీ కెన్ క్లియర్ ద ఏరియా. ఇన్ 100% we can't take it as in we can't clear it as 90% also, but somewhat some 50% of that sludge we can clear by this using this bucket auger. After that also, if some, for example, bucket auger is also used for to break the rocks. For example, here in NMDC I have this area is backfilled about 25 meters area. The area was backfilled around 25 meters. A area पूरा 25 meters of backfill किया गया. So with that backfilling, they has used debris, boulders, soft soil, rock soil, everything they has used. So while boring in middle between, due to that boulders will come while boring at 5 meters only, because of the backfilling area. In 5 meters, 7 meter, there's some small boulders will come. To clear that area and to break that boulders, this bucket will be used. At the time, we will be inserting this bucket with some force, having its own weight, and with going with somewhat force, that boulder will go aside or else that boulder will break. So for these two reasons, this bucket auger will be used. So you got the names of these instruments, not instruments, this machinery equipment, right? See, after completion of boring, we are doing providing the reinforcement into the borehole. So you can see this area, the total pile cage. In normal shallow foundations, what happens means the person will come and he will take the steel and he will tie in there itself only. He will fabricate everything inside the ground only, because it is on the surface, top of the surface. But here we are drilling the bore inside the ground surface. So in that ground borehole, the person can't go inside and he can't drill it. No, that's why we will be prefabricated on the site. We will be prefabricating this reinforcement and we will be inserting inside the bore. See this by this rig machine or by using some crane, we will be holding this entire pile cage and we will be inserting inside the borehole. Right. After that borehole, after inserting the pile cage, we will be doing some fabrication work. As earlier as told, you can get a thought, sir. We already told that on the site we are already did the prefabrication. Then why you are doing the fabrication? See, what happens means the standard length of the reinforcement is 12 meter. According to the highest standard or something, the standard of the length of the reinforcement is 12 meter. If you want separately, you have to order it. So apart from that, for example, now I have to do piling around 20 meters. The length of the reinforcement is 12 meter. In that also at the bottom, I have to put some leg. I have to bend it for L bottom and something. I have to do some fabrication at the bottom also. I will be considering as 300 mm. So from 12 meters, 300 mm has been minused. That means it will be around some 11.7 meters. And I need 20 meters depth. In that 12 meter has been gone. That remaining 8 meters length, 8 meters fabrication from where I will get. So what we will do means, after inserting pile cage, wait a minute. So I will show you. Okay, this is 20 meter depth. First reinforcement I have first pile cage I have inserted inside. After going inside, some part of the pile I will be exposed to outside and I will be putting some support. See, you can see this one, no? I had kept in middle of that pile cage to not to go pile inside. After this putting support in middle, I will be taking another pile cage and I will fixing here by giving some overlap. See, I can show you. See, this length is overlapped here. Again, this is full length. Again, we will overlap here. Again, this is will be welding here. See, here he is welding. I had completed overlapping. See, I can show the marks here. After here is the another part is somewhat here. Again, this part is there. No, I will be fixing with helical rings. This one. After completion all the welding works, in the previous photo also. See, first he inserted one cage. At the top, he kept some support to not insert the pile total, to not to go in. After that, he took another pile cage, and now he is fixing here. You're getting my point, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. After that, inserting of pile cage, I will be inserting trimmy pipe. So here the question again comes, what is the trimmy pipe? While in previously I showed while they're doing casting on the of the raft, one person is vibrating to get proper compaction of concrete and to go into every part of that reinforcement. They are doing vibration. Is it? So here we are going up to 20 meter with some higher depth. There we can't put vibration now. Whether we can't, we don't know how they are doing vibration and everything. So they will trimmy pipe is a pipe which is used to pour the concrete inside the borehole. According to the IS code 456 2000, there is a rule to pour the concrete. The concrete should not be poured more than 1.5 meters. Sorry, from the height of more than 1.5 meters. Explaining, I will be clearing explaining in normal language. కాంక్రీట్ మనం పోసినప్పుడు పైనుంచి 1.5 మీటర్ అంటే 1.5 మీటర్ పైనుంచి కాంక్రీట్ पोयकूడదు మనం है कि नहीं. जब कंक्रीट को हम पोर करते हैं ऊपर से 1.5 मीटर के ऊपर से हमें कंक्रीट को नहीं पोर करना चाहिए, मतलब कंक्रीट को डालना नहीं चाहिए. 1.5 मीटर के ऊपर से कंक्रीट को नहीं डालना चाहिए. Why? Because due to the gravitational force on that in the atmosphere, the concrete will be segregating. That means the fine aggregate will be segregated at some part, and that is coarse aggregate and cement it will be separately, means that will be separated and it will be segregated. Concrete, when the concrete is, when we are used to say concrete, it's a mixture of coarse aggregate and fine aggregate with the addition of water and cement. After that, it's called as concrete and it will become a strength. Right? If the material is aggregated aside, then there is no strength of the concrete. Now there is no use of providing a concrete in this inside the borehole. So from that 30 meters to 20 meters from the height from the ground level, if I'm pouring the concrete, obviously it will be segregated and there will be no use. Obviously honeycombs will come, but inside the going in, but we can't see, but we can't go inside and we can see now what is the position of that pile. So we will be providing a trimmy pipe. So in trimmy pipe also there are so many different types. Let me show you. See, this one pipe, depending upon the material, some trimmy pipe are around 1.5 meter this length, some are 2 meters, some are 2.5 meters, and there is a hollow funnel will be there on the top, and at the bottom they will be provided with the tunnel. Sorry, they will be provided with the threadings. See here, this is one part. Sorry, not. This is one part. At the bottom there is another part. That means they will take it out and they will fix it. See, In this sketch, I will be showing you clearly. This is a funnel from where we will pour the concrete, and these are different parts, 1, 2, 3, and here we have provided some threading to fix the trimming pipe inside the wall, inside the pipe. So after pouring the concrete, it will be going and it will coming outside in this way. See, this is and all concrete, and this is the water which is present inside that pile, sorry, inside the borehole, water or sludge, so whatever. So after the coming, see, from bottom onwards, concrete is coming. Concrete जब आ रहा है, obviously it will not mix with water. Concrete will never mix with water unless you doing any actions on it. Unless manually, if you are mixing it, if concrete is totally mixed up to some top 10 centimeters or some, sorry, from 10 mm only, that water will be mixing with concrete. That another the bottom part will be like a concrete only. So after coming it again, they will do to and fro action. Means after pouring fully, after pouring the concrete, it will be filling, no, like this. After it is filling full the trimming pipe. After this filled, they will be doing pull out and pull in and pull out section, like this, like this. Actually, I don't have videos, or else I could show you in this session. See, they had inserted casing. After inserting casing, they inserted the reinforcement. After providing the reinforcement, they kept a trimming pipe. After providing the trimming pipe, they started pouring concrete throughout the trimming pipe. So after filling the concrete inside the trimming pipe, they will be doing that action from that machine. That what will said to and fro action will be there. No, in Telugu, పైకి కిందికి ఊపుతూ ఉంటారు అన్నమాట దాన్ని. మనం ఒక బస్తాలో ఇసుక పోసిన వచ్చినప్పుడు అది లాస్ట్ మనం దాన్ని తిరిగేసినప్పుడు మనం ఊపుతాం కదా బస్తాని, మొత్తం ఇసుక మొత్తం బయటకు వచ్చాక మొత్తం ఊపుతాం కదా మనం. At the same time, the same action will be done with this trimming pipe. जैसे कि अभी हम लोग रेती में मतलब एक बोरी में रेती भर के लेके आते हैं और उसको जब उतारते हैं तो उसको हम लोग आगे पीछे करते रहते हैं ना, ऊपर नीचे उसको हिला हिला खाली करते हैं ना बस्ता को, मतलब बोरी को. एट द सेम टाइम क्या होता है कि यहाँ पे भी ना ट्रिमिंग पाइप में ऊपर कंक्रीट भर जाता है. पूरा ट्रिमिंग पाइप में देखो पूरा कंक्रीट भरने के बाद ऊपर मशीन से उसको आगे पीछे मतलब ऊपर नीचे उसको हिलाते रहता है ताकि कंक्रीट पूरा उसको जो ट्रिमिंग पाइप के अंदर जो बचा है कंक्रीट पर निकल जाए बाहर. After doing that action, all the concrete which present in the trimming pipe will be coming outside, and the same procedure will become. So after filling it, the trimming pipe will come here. They will remove this cap and they will take out this part, and again they will fix this funnel to this one. You understood it not? I will explain you clearly. After this to and fro actions, the concrete which is present inside this trimming pipe will be coming outside. So now this position will be at this position. It is not a water, it is a concrete. So this again this trimming pipe will can't go inside. No, it will be top on this one. So now what will happen means they will take this funnel, they will remove this funnel. After removing, they will take this part and they will put aside, and again they will take this funnel and they will insert into this. Again the same action will be done. Again they will pour the concrete into it. After pouring the concrete, again the concrete will fill inside this trimming pipe. Again the to and fro action will be done. Pull out and pull in. Pull push, that action will be done. After completion, again that concrete will come up to this level. That means the trimming pipe will come up to here. Again they will take that funnel outside, remove this part, and again they will fix this funnel to this part. Same action will be done until the concrete comes out. While filling the water, or the water present inside that bore will be coming outside. Let me show you another picture. You will be getting one clear information. See, in this method they are pouring. You got the clarity, right? Anybody can say yes whether they understand or not.
Please check your chat box.
Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry. So after the completion of, see here I am showing you that they're pouring the concrete in this funnel. This, see, they're pouring the funnel here. After this, after completion of concreting, they will be taking all the pile, all the trimmy pipe which they're inserted, and they will be barricading the area. This area they will be barricading everything to not to go around the space, and hence we will be completed the pile number of piles. So after that completion of piles, we will be doing testing on that pile. You can ask, sir, we will collecting the concrete in the cubes, and after 7 days and 28 days, we will be doing that compressive strength of the concrete. See, here we are checking the strength of the piles. Sorry, strength of the concrete, not the strength of the pile. How whether the pile is inserted properly or not. For that, I will explain slightly. I will not explain briefly. See, we will be doing some test on piles. So in doing test, we will be doing two tests. One is initial load test, another is routine load test. You can write it down. Initial load test is a test which will be giving 2.5 times of the load. For example, designer has been given for a hospital as some 100 tons of a load. He has designed for a hospital. He has designed some 100 tons. So I will be giving the load on that initial pile around 2.5 times of that load. That means I will be giving 100 into 2.5. 250 tons of pressure load I will be giving in that initial pile. In the routine pile means I will be selecting one pile which has been done. So in that from a group of piles, so one pile I will be selecting one pile, and I will be taking that pile and I will be testing on that around 1.5 times. That means 100 into 1.5, that is 150 tons only I will be giving. So here initial pile will be done at some other place in site only, but they will be taking some other area. They will be doing that pile. After the doing initial pile, we will be not using that pile for construction of building. That's why we will be doing. We will be keeping a part separately from the out of the site. After completion of initial routine piles, again the load means the piles again the different types. For example, we did initial pile and routine pile. For doing initial pile also, we are having the three types. One is compression, that is called vertical load test. Another is lateral load test. Another one is pull out test. So I will be showing some images. These three tests will be doing on both the piles, initial pile and routine pile. So this is a vertical pile. I will show you. They will be putting, sorry, they will be filled with jumbo bags. They will be putting some girders, sorry. On the bottom, they will be fixing one jack. See, this is the pile. Here we fixed 140 mm thickness of plate, which should be 3 times dia of the pile. With this jack, and we used to give that load on the pile. These two are gauges which will show the deflection. See, I will clearly explain you. This is the beam. On the top, I will be putting some loads. This is the pile. I will be putting one test plate. After that, I will be placing one hydraulic jack. This is a steel plate. And this hydraulic jack will take all the load from this one. After giving the pressure, I will be getting the deflection readings out here. how much pile has been deflected. So this is called vertical. After is lateral, that is horizontal. What I will do means I will be taking two piles, or this is I will putting a jack between these two piles horizontally, and so I will be getting force here. दो पाइल के बीच में एक जैक लगा दूंगा और दोनों को प्रेशर दूंगा मैं నేను రెండు పైల్స్ మధ్యలో ఏం చేస్తాను ఒక జాక్ పెట్టి రెండిట్లకి ప్రెషర్ ఇస్తాను నేను అవి ఎలా ఉన్నాయి కండిషన్స్ వెదర్ దే ఆర్ ఇన్ ప్రాపర్ వే ఆర్ నాట్ సో హియర్ యూ కెన్ సీ here I kept a dial gauge to this pile and this pile to check the deflection. So I'm giving with this hydraulic cylinder I'm giving some pressure to these both the piles. In sheet pilings at the seashore, these are the sheets. I'm taking a support here, and with the support I'm pushing these sheets whether the sheets are properly fixed or placed or not to check their strength. After that pull out test, that means on the pile I will set up equipment which will be pulling out or not. This will be used for frictional piles. See, I kept a crane. Oops. I kept a crane here. So I fixed some equipment in this pile. So with that with that crane, I will be lifting up. That means I am pulling that pile upside up to certain length, up to certain load I'm giving. Whether the pile is with resist to that pressure or not. So these are the three tests which should be done on pile. Basically, first is we have to do two types of tests. One is initial test, another is routine. Initial means we will be not using that pile, but just we are testing whether they are dead or not. After that, from one we will be choosing some number of piles. From number of piles we will be choosing one pile, and in that one pile we will be testing whether all the number of piles is been done properly or not. That is routine pile. Again, while doing testing for both initial and routine, three tests will be again divided. Sorry, again the three tests will be divided. That is vertical load test, that is compression, which will be compression strength. After that one is lateral, which we will be giving horizontal force. Another one is pull out. Okay. After the completion of that piling, pile cap works. That means I will excavate the area. See, I have already marked. Where is this? I had already marked this area. Doing excavation of around the pile. After that excavating, I am chipping this pile. See, this person is chipping all the area. After the completion of chipping, see, you can see here. After the chipping, I will be clearing the ground surface and I will be leveling everything. After that leveling, in number of groups, I will be providing PCC. After completion of leveling చేసిన తర్వాత నేను ఏం చేస్తానంటే PCC చేస్తాను అన్నమాట మొత్తం అంతా. पूरा leveling करने के बाद मैं क्या करूंगा, ये तो ग्रुप ऑफ फाइल्स है ना, फाइल का कंस्ट्रक्ट करने के लिए ऊपर PCC करूंगा मैं. See, I have done PCC. After completion of PCC, I did markings. I'm doing some markings. You can see this some white chalk piece lines. It's visible to you or not, I don't know. See, I'm doing some markings to prepare for pedestal. That means raft. It will be looking like this. See, I'm fixing the reinforcement on the pile cap. After the completion of reinforcement, I will be doing shuttering. After doing shuttering, the surveyor will check the point whether the shuttering is done properly or not. He is a surveyor. This is the pile cap. We are giving proper support to them. Okay. So at last, now I will ask you whether they are doing this concreting is perfect. I mean, right or wrong. Can you? Anyone can say, they're concreting no into the borehole. Whether this procedure is correct or wrong. Can anyone can tell?
No, sir. It's wrong.
Why?
No, sir. Segregation.
Wrong, sir.
Sir, it should be free fall should be restricted to up to 5 feet, sir.
Yeah.
It should be restricted to 5 feet.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for this one. You understood, I think so. So actually, what happened means after when I did the concreting everything, so that concrete has been came up. Concrete for concrete, the total concrete has been came up. After removing the casing, suddenly the concrete went downside. So see, I had already taken the trimming pipe outside. Suddenly the concrete went inside because this area fully filled area up to some 15 meters. This area was filled. So that's why in hurriedly I was again pouring this concrete because the concrete was nearly around some 1 meter only. That concrete was visible at 1 meter depth only. So that's why I'm pouring in this kind of. So again I can't put the trimming pipe again I can't keep all the setup no. But due to the time clearance, I'm pouring this concrete directly into that pit. Okay, guys, this is the end of the session. So if you have, if you go, if you're all, if any one of your guys is having any doubts, you can ask me. You can ask in
Sir, can you please,
your own language.
sir, can you please go on to that particular page in that which you have shared a procedure for client pile foundation? I'll take one snap, sir.
Which one? Wait a minute.
Procedure, sir, procedure.
For pile procedure, which one?
Pile foundation. This one, sir.
This one, okay, you can take it.
Sir, thank you so much for the detailed information you've provided. You made it very super clear and detailed also at the time.
I just want to confirm whether you guys got whether you got somewhat information about this piling or not. Actually, what happens means piling should be it will be very easy to understand while seeing it. No one needs to explain you. While if you are seeing this procedure, nobody needs to explain you what is happening. By simply seeing, you can understand what is going in pile foundations. When coming into raft, someone has to explain you why we are providing this reinforcement, why we are moving at this, that is spacing, overlapping, that BBS, that bar bending and everything. Someone has to explain the superior, but piling is the one foundation in which nobody can explain you. Nobody needs to explain what is happening inside that. Is it? See, after that one, I will show you one small thing.
Sir.
Hello.
Sir? No, sir. We will place for casing to remove the soil stratum.
Can you wait just a minute? See, while doing piling,
Sir, sorry for the
what should
interruption,
happen?
sir. So before we start our Q&A session, I'll just take a minute to announce our huge deals going on our courses. So let me share my screen like very fast in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, would you please first stop sharing your screen for a minute?
Yeah, I stopped. Yeah, carry on.
So can you all see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So this is a special offer going on. So we are giving out huge offer of 30% on all our courses on this auspicious occasion of Teachers' Day till Engineers' Day. All right. So let me very quickly take you through what are we providing and how does that happen. So as I said before, we offer several useful and knowledgeable courses on behalf of Bhavanams. As you can see there, these are the 5 main courses that we are dealing with now. So first being the AutoCAD Architectural, ETAP Static and Dynamic, 3ds Max, 𝗲𝗏 and Rivet, SketchUp, 𝗲𝗏 and Rivet Architectural, Structural and MEP. So in Architectural AutoCAD, we'll explain you everything about the AutoCAD software, the Vastu, how the design has to be made, how the floor plan has to be prepared according to Vastu, according to government rules and regulations, how to understand and analyze the client requirements and make a plan, make a floor plan accordingly in AutoCAD Architectural. And now comes our ETAPS course, the static and dynamic. So we offer, as I said, both static and dynamic aspects of it. Will make you design, calculate loads, place columns for a G+1 story building, and the same follows for all other courses and the combinations too. So the same applies for Rivet Architectural, Structural and MEP, and 3ds Max, 𝗲𝗏 Rivet, SketchUp, 𝗲𝗏 Rivet. So along with all these courses will help students of BTech and MTech in doing their projects, including designing a G+5 story building in ETAPS for BTech students and designing and analyze the loads for a G+10 story building in ETAPS for MTech students also. So for all the prices, you can go check out in our app or you can contact us in the WhatsApp from the below displayed number. So by enrolling in our courses, you can avail many benefits, like you will get lifetime access for all these webinars for free. And also you'll get an e-certificate, and also you'll get free access for our e-library, which consists of several code books, all code books required by a civil engineer to go on with his career, and also all the government rules and regulations for lifetime. So along with all these, if you enroll in our course, we'll give you live coordinator support also. So if you are enrolling in our course, we'll give a coordinator whom you can approach to at any time to get your doubts clarified. And also free membership for our WhatsApp group. So we'll be joining you in our WhatsApp group, where we post about our upcoming projects, internships, vacancies, and hiring information of different companies. So that's it. So you have already witnessed our quality, right, for this webinar. So for you all, we request you to check our courses and a massive discount, up to 30% discount on this auspicious eve. So if you want to join us, you can text us to the below displaying number from WhatsApp. Otherwise, if you want to check our content, you can download our app, go through it, and ping us in WhatsApp. So, and now that's it about our announcement. And now I'll drop the feedback form in the chat box, and please let us know your suggestions and compliments over there. We'd be happy to know and grow. So that's it from my side. Attendees, you can now pose your questions and go on. You can either type them in the chat box or unmute yourself and directly pose to sir.
Hello. Who is Varnudhar? See, what is the question? What is the construction procedure when the water table is at very shallow depth and unable to dewater with high discharge pumps are used to how to pour the concrete? Okay, see, at the starting I said we will be inserting some casing, no, 6 meter depth or some length of casing. I told you to insert, that is called temporary casing. That means after completion of concrete, I will be removing that casing. Apart from that, when you are using in sandy soil or loose soil at near the seashore, river shore, we are going for linear casings. That means that quality of that linear will be somewhat decreased and it is permanently kept inside it. one by one, throughout the depth, we will be inserting that casing inside that depth actually. One by one. As a first part of 6 meter we inserted. After going is again we will be inserting another casing. At the same time we will be inserting all the casing up to the certain depth, and we will be clearing all the water which is present inside that hole, and then we will be pouring concrete it. And that is called linear casing. That casing will be placed permanently. Right. So when it comes like this means it will be getting 2 to 3 times more costlier than normal piling. For example, for one pile it is taking around 50,000 means if you go for linear casing, it will be going around 1 lakh to 1.5 lakhs. If you go for linear casing, that means it will be increasing from 2 to 3 times of its cost. Okay. Apart from that, anyone is having another doubt?
Okay, guys, I've dropped my feedback form in the chat box, so you can now give feedback and let us know your comments, please.
Hello.
Sir,
Okay, guys, thank you so much for.
Sir,
Yeah.
casing will be left over as sixth. Sir, we won't remove
No,
after
actually,
concrete, right?
sorry for this. I'm not at all properly. I mean, I'm not at all listening. I'm not at all hearing your voice properly due to some connections. Can you please drop a message?
Sure.
Okay, attendees, now you can drop all your queries in the chat box. Sir is not able to listen properly, so please drop your queries in the chat box.
So, Shaurya Mishra, you had said, sir, regarding Trimi pipe, as you have mentioned that we pour concrete from 1.5 meter. So, is there any plate between every Trimi pipe to avoid irrigation? No, there is no plate in the Mishra, but see, Trimi pipe is not that much diameter. Means that, for example, the pipe is that pile is having around 500 or 600 mm diameter. The Trimi pipe is showing around 200 to 250 mm dia. So in that gap, there is no space to segregate the concrete, right? If in the open air, in somewhat open spacious space, if you are pouring that concrete from that much height, that concrete will be easily segregated. In that you are giving some less area to the concrete to move. So in that less area, the concrete will not get segregated. Surya Mishra, in which language you are comfortable to listen? I will explain you both in language. So, ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే ఆ పైప్ చాలా సన్నంగా ఉంటుంది. సో ఆ పైప్ సన్నంగా ఉండడం వల్ల మనకి సాగ్రిగేషన్ అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట అక్కడ. या సో అక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే अच्छा ओके क्या होता है कि ना जब जो कंक्रीट जो पाइप जाता है ना एकदम पतला रहता है वो. अब जैसे पाइल क्या मोटा रहता है वो 500 mm का 600 mm का डाई का रहता है, तो इसलिए क्या उसको स्पेस मिल जाता है उसको साइकिल अलग अलग होने के लिए. लेकिन क्या है कि ना ट्रिमी पाइप का जो डायमीटर रहता है वो 250 से 200 या 300 के आसपास ही रहता है. वो उसको साइकिल की वजह उसको स्पेस भी चाहिए, उसको जगह भी चाहिए, उसको
बॉटम पे. सर अगर एकदम टॉप से एकदम बॉटम पे गिराएंगे तो मतलब वो ग्रेविटी के चक्कर में उसमें कुछ नहीं होगा. ग्रेविटी से
नहीं कुछ नहीं होगा, क्योंकि वो एक के ऊपर जाता है ना वो कंक्रीट. इतना कुछ नहीं होता है उसके ऊपर, क्योंकि वो पाइप के थ्रू जाके बाहर निकलता है. वो एक के ऊपर जाता है तो कुछ ना कुछ सेग्रीगेशन होता नहीं है. And that also after that we are doing that actions, no pull out and pull down actions we are doing. So again that concrete will be mixing inside. Yeah. Okay. Due to this action, again the concrete will be mixing inside that part.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Another one, how to control water table for shallow foundations. See, when there is a water table near to the foundations, we will be providing some sheet foundations. For example, I have shown you that picture now in a in lateral foundation. There is some big concrete box, and at the side they have kept some sheets. Actually, first point is when the ground water table is at a higher point, they will be not going for shallow foundations. First point. If they are going for shallow foundations means, first of all, they will be taking all the area at that where they are doing foundations, and at the sides they will be barricading with sheets. On a thin steel sheets will be there, and they will be driven inside that soil up to certain depth. With that, they will control the water to come inside that water. Means that they will stop water entering into that area where they are doing the foundations. So with this process, they will be doing all the shallow foundations. After that, Akhil Abbas. So will the casing is fixed even after concrete? No. After concrete, immediately they have to take the casing out. If they are taking, if they are not, if they delayed for taking the casing out, the casing will be fixed inside only. Because we were using concrete has initial setting time of 30 minutes, and that too we were adding some admixtures to concrete to get to reduce the to decrease the setting time of concrete. So immediately after completion of concreting, immediately they will pull out the casing. Within 5 minutes, they will pull out the casing outside. If they delayed means the casing will be fixed inside only. They have to prepare. They have to take another casing provide. After that, can casing reuse? Yeah, casing can be easily reused because it's made of steel, mild steel. Something it is a steel case, so nothing will happen to it. We can easily use it. That the thickness of the casing will be 10 mm to 12 mm dia. And it is very heavy. We can't lift it by hands. Obviously, with that rope will be tied at the ends. That it will be lifted with the crane only, crane or that pile rig machine. We can't lift it by the hands with the people. Even we can't move it also. It is very heavy. Nearly it will be around 1 to 2 tons, I think so. I didn't calculate it. Means I don't know the weight, proper weight of that one. So apart from this, anyone is having any doubts, sir? So can you give me 2 minutes? I will show you. See here, this is the recent drawings. Actually, it will not. So next file I should not do at this area. I have to do for this one or either for this one. After completion of 48 hours, I have to do this one. Why? Because why? Because there is a difference about some 1.5 meter, 1.8 meter only. If you're doing that at the same time, both the boreholes will be collapsing. So for this reason, see, these aren't all the group of piles, right? I have did for today. I did for P1 piling 1. So next pile I will be go for piling 3 or piling 4 or pile 21. But I will not go for pile 2 because there is a chance of soil collapse and all the concrete will be collapsed and the pile bore will be wasted. And we can't. We can't use that one. Okay, now. So this is the one of the major part we have to remember it while doing the pile as an engineer. So apart from this, is anybody is having doubts regarding pile foundations or some many other procedure? Another
Sir,
one thing. Yeah, tell me.
If in case due to rainy issues or any other problems, the concrete will be the pile will get burst. So we need to change the particular place now, sir. So the plan will change based on that. Am I right, sir?
No. They will take necessary precautions. If suddenly if the rain starts, they will stop doing piling. Okay. And they will take the drill bit outside and they will cover the casing with some lid with the plate that that rain should not enter into the bore.
Okay.
They will close it. Immediately they will stop. There is no chance to collapse the bore. If the bore is collapsing, again they will drill it. Nothing will happen by providing casings. If then also the bore is keep on collapsing means, listen everybody, they will be using one segment called bentonite. It will be like brownish color powder. They will mix it. They will mix the powder into water and they will pour inside the bore. That bentonite will tighten. That the bentonite will do as like some fix it. Doctor fix it. We will using no, sir, like for a waterproofing agent. So that bentonite will tight that loose soil and it will stop to collapsing the borehole. तो bentonite क्या करता है पूरा अंदर जाकर जम जाता है पूरा. That means it will make the soil as hard and it will not make it collapse. So we will be using bentonite with mixing in powder. It will be like a brownish color, like some rice husk color. It will be there, some bentonite. like admixture something they will use. They will mix in water and they will pour inside the borehole. So with this, that bore will not collapse. Then also, if that bore is collapsing, means we have to go for linear casing. Okay, after that, who is 𝗬𝗏? As we remove the case after some time, so the concrete will take place of casing and the height of the pile will be decreased. Yeah. So again, no. At the time I showed, no. See that he is pouring again, whether it is right or wrong. So after taking the casing outside, the casing is around 12. The thickness of the casing is 10 to 12 mm thickness. So the concrete will be taking the place of the casing. So again, after lifting the casing, that concrete level will be decreasing downside. Again, they will pour the concrete up to level. At the time, there will be nothing segregation will be there because they will pour from down only. Not only major, it will be going around some 500 mm only. Half meter something, maximum to maximum it will go decrease to half meter. That's it. Maximum to maximum 200 mm thickness, 200 mm depth it will decrease. Maximum to maximum 500 mm. So again, we will pour and we will fill it up. After taking up the casing, so pile height decrease. There is no any problem because after taking the concrete will take the place of the casing. So somewhat the height of the concrete will be decreased. Again, we will be pouring on that. From top only we will pour. Nothing will happen for that. Apart from this.
Okay, last 2 minutes to pour in your questions, please. We are running out of time. So also please do fill the feedback form for the better performance next time. Thank you.
Apart from that, especially from site engineers who are interested to go in site, you have to treat your client as a god. Had you already listened to those words, boss is always right. Not. You have to treat your client as a god. It will be totally depending upon the client what he is telling. In this case, your reputation will be increased in these words. In his high site, your reputation will be increased. So he may be refer you for other top companies. See, you will be for fresher, you will be joining as for builder or some small companies or some other companies. But for your change and for increment of salaries, you will be changing continuously. For 2 years after completion of project, you will be changing from here to there. If you are behaving properly with the client, he will show you the next site, means next higher companies. They only will already requirements will come. Hey, Brady, can you please suggest an engineer, a good weld engineer I want to for my site, my new construction is starting. So and so they will discussing. And if you are behaving with them properly, you're having good reputation in them. They're having a good reputation on you. First of all, they will refer you only. Yeah, he is a guy. He's doing all the proper works. He's having all the abilities. So immediately they will refer you. You have to treat clients as client as a gods. Then only we give you separate specifications, and they will be changing your levels, and you will be you can go with higher levels. You have to note this, huh? Apart from this. So I'm closing the session, and thank you so much for listening to today's session. If anything goes wrong, I'm sorry for that. I'm unable to share some points about pile test. And pile test, if you're seeing properly, means you will be getting all the clarities. If I'm explaining, means you will be getting some confusions. Due to lack of time, I just explained lightly. I didn't go into the briefly. Sorry for that. And thank you so much for listening this. Thank you. Good evening.
Shreyansh sir, we thank you so much for giving your precious time in sharing the best of your knowledge with our students. Many more such sessions to us in the future, sir.
Sir, can you please check the chat box once?
Sir,
what? I didn't understood. Hello.
Sir, can you please check the chat box?
Mishra, sir, if by chance, which one? I didn't got anything. Sir, if by chance any soil will collapse inside of the pile after boring, and just caging so that height of pile will be decreased. So how to check the because of it? No. What will happen means I told before the processing they will be pouring some bentonite. See, while drilling, they will take the mud height. In that rig machine, that height will be there. That meter will be there. That how much depth it is going, how much depth it is drilled. Everything will be there inside that rig machine. So if again up to now he did up to some 6 meter up to he drilled the bore up to 6 meter. He took the mud outside. Again the soil has been filled up to 1 meter. So he will be getting knowing again it came to 5 meters means that soil has been collapsed. Immediately he will providing casing. After that again the soil is collapsing means he will provide bentonite, because mostly softy soil and loose soil will be at around 3 meters only. After going in depth of 3 meters, you will be getting harsh data. Means the soil will not collapse because of water, because of moisture content. The soil will not collapse. After if it is a backfilled area, so soil is collapsing means you will be providing bentonite. And 2-3 times I had explained that about bucket auger. No, you will be placing that bucket auger 2-3 times. You will be moving from up to top to bottom. At that time, that all the soil will be settled at the proper position. Due to that bentonite, that soil will become tighted. After that, immediately they will provide casing inside it, and after that they will provide 𝗵𝗵𝗍. So when you are providing casing, so it can't stop the soil 100%, but 50% of that it can stop the soil. No, because in that casing you will be having number of reinforcement. At that too, we will be providing some helical rings up around that casing pile cage. After that, again you will be providing cover blocks. So that one will not make soil to collapse. And immediately you are doing concreting. See, after doing pile, immediately you have to do piling. You should not give, for example, I have 2 rig machines. I have did one piling, and I'm going to another piling without doing concrete means immediately the soil will collapse. So after completion of boring, immediately they will do concrete. Concrete only they will go to another one. Without completing, without doing concrete, they will not leave the bore. So that's why there is no chance to again backfill it. If against filling means we having the number of suitable items, the suitable procedures to do it. Like we first thing we will use bentonite. Then also it is not going means we will be using linear casing. That everything will be getting through soil investigation report only. What is the soil condition of the soil? With that only they will be taking all the materials to the site. Okay, yeah, thank you, Mr. Okay, if you want to any other doubts, wait a minute. I will share my number. If you are having any doubts, you can ask me by calling, and you can drop a message in WhatsApp.
Sir.
Yeah, tell
Hello?
me.
Sir, you give your number. We will talk, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Can you please share your number?
See, this is my both. You can call me or you can share me through WhatsApp also. I'm always free, 24/7. I will be free. I will be present to explain clear dots everything regarding all them. Apart from softwares, I can tell you all the details about site related works. I can give some experiences, what to do, how to do, reference and everything. I can tell you by this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, number, sir?
Yeah, I already shared in message. You can see, or else I will pronounce 70 323 68
142.
142. Yeah.
Sir, your name is Srinivas Reddy, sir?
No, I'm Shreyan Chaudhary.
Shreyan. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this your WhatsApp number, sir?
Yeah, both. Yeah, it's having both. You can call and you can drop a message in through WhatsApp.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
And
sir, thank you so much, guys. I think that's it for now, right?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you guys for listening.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks to you all also. That's it for now. Good night to you all. We'll see you in the next webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.